Okay, listen, y'all. I only have like less than an hour to get this entire set done because I have class at 11. It is 9:13, so we're gonna be speed running this, but that is okay. So I'm just gonna pick out my nail sizes and put them on my nail stand. I always run out of these two the quickest because both of my fingers are a size 7 and then my middle finger is a size 6. So when I get to this point, I usually just start using, because there's usually more 6s than 7s left, so I just start using up all of the 6s until they're like at about the same like level, and then I like cave in and buy some more. Okay, so all of the nails are finally on the nail stand, and I'm going to start off by making a French tip. I always just start with the base nude color, and I do all my French tips the same way. I've never seen anybody else do them the same way I do. I have tutorials up. I've done these countless times. So if you're new, behold. If you're not new, hi. But yeah, I did 2 layers of this. And also, I've gotten some questions about this a couple of times. What I use to stick the nails onto my nail stand is the same glue tabs I use when I apply my nails. So it's like a dual purpose. I like them better than the Fun Tack because with the Fun Tack you have to scrape it off the back of the nail, but with these, if you get it at the right like tackiness, it won't stick to the nail. By the way, guys, this is the inspo, and I didn't notice this until it was too late, but I was supposed to make the pointer finger completely black as you see in the inspo picture, but I did not do that, so I just decided to roll with it and keep it as a French tip. So here I'm just painting the nails that I needed to black and the other ones white. Once again, I'm giving everything 2 layers. Even though these polishes are pretty opaque, sometimes they don't level out as smoothly, so I do another layer just to make sure it looks even. And now I can start working on the Spiderweb nail. For this one, I think I did 3 layers of the white, but I just did an outline of the French tip, then I did 1 straight line down the middle, and I did lines going in diagonal directions. And I like to start off on one side of like the swoop for the spider web lines, so I don't have to keep like turning the nail back and forth, and then I turn it the other direction and then do the other side of the swoop, if that makes sense. Now it is time for the Ghostface nail. I think this is Ghostface. I haven't seen any of the movies with this character in it, but you make Ghostface the easiest way by doing a dot at the top and at the bottom, and then 2 dots on the side, and then you just connect all of them. It's super duper easy, and then you just fill in and you like make some finishing touches like I am, just to make sure that the face doesn't look too wonky. Like I didn't like my lines going too much into a deep curve, so I kind of made them a little bit more straight. I did enough layers so that you couldn't see the French tip behind it. And while that was curing, I got to work on the nails with crosses on them. So I made the crosses by doing 2 perpendicular lines, and then on top of like each line, I also had to make it a little bit longer because I wanted to make space for this. I made another perpendicular baby line on the ends of each of the lines. Sorry for saying that word so much. And then I kind of just connected everything again. Pro tip, like this is just my opinion, but I feel like these crosses look way better when they're not so skinny like this right here. I'm focusing on like leaving the mass of the polish at the bottom, but it looks better when you kind of drag it more towards the center, which you'll see more on the next cross I do. Okay, here we go. Here's the next cross. I'm doing the same method with the lines. I'm just making a little bit bigger in a different position, and here I wasn't so scared to be like perfect. Like I was just kind of like doing whatever. I wasn't like holding my breath. I was painting. I was just going for it, and that worked out a lot better for me. So you see I'm making the like blocked out like triangular parts bigger and closer to the center, whereas before it was more towards the ends. And while that was curing, I just grabbed the thumb and I put a top coat over it because I wanted to do those 3D, like, what is it called? I don't even know what it's called. It's like those 3D lines. You'll see in a second. But I wanted to be proactive and do a top coat because I was going to put top coat over that. You'll see. So now back to the Ghostface question mark nail. Once again, you're just making the face by using dots. So 2 dots for the eyes and then 2 dots for the mouth, and you just connect all of them. So do y'all remember the charms that were in the inspo picture of the silver crosses? I don't have any silver crosses. I just have pink ones, and I have these molds that I made. And I decided I was just going to make the silver charms myself. So I started off by getting my mold, which I have a video of how I did this on my TikTok if you want to watch it. And I just covered it in cuticle oil, which you can get for free if you order. And then I filled the mold with top coat and made sure that it reached the top, and I just let it cure. Moving on to the thumb, this was the 3D lines that I was talking about, and I wanted to have a top coat layer already so I didn't have to go back over with top coat, because that like kind of takes away from the 3D aspect. So here's one of my charms, and it's really easy. You just pop it out and that's how it looks. It's so cute. I did this with another one, I believe. Yep, I'm going ahead and doing that right now. And I just did the same process over again. One tip I will give is that when you're filling it with top coat is to wiggle your brush around into like the corners to make sure it gets into all the nooks and crannies. So while those nails and molds are curing, I'm going to go ahead and add more details to the Ghostface nail. Just some lines like the inspo picture to make it look kind of like not realistic, but like give it some more pizzazz, you know? Here I am popping out the charm from the mold. And now I'm going to, oh, there's a failed charm. We're not going to talk about it. Now I'm going to try and make a charm from scratch. And I did not end up using this charm. It was like supposed to be a little, a money sign. Like it was going to be so cute. Like I knew I could pull this charm off. But once I actually stuck it on the nail, I was like, wait, I don't really think that fits in. Like all these crosses and like silver and like a random dollar sign, like I don't know. So I decided to scratch the idea, but I'll definitely like, if I want to use a dollar sign charm in the future, I know I can just make it, so that's good to know. At this point, all of the nails that would have a silver cross aspect on them, I decided to cover in matte top coat to avoid the chrome getting onto any surface that I didn't want them to get onto. Then I went over all the matte nails with an alcohol prep pad because I wanted to be extra careful that the chrome wouldn't stick to them. And I filed them while they were matte because sometimes when I file them when they're gloss, like my thumbprints get on the nail and nobody likes that. So I took this opportunity to file them now. Then I got my rhinestone glue and I just started placing dots all over the nails where I wanted to place my silver gems. They're not really gems, they're like the circle things. But I placed it everywhere I wanted my charms and silver dots / gems, and we're just going to ignore that dollar sign. She's not there, guys. Then I start adding all of the charms on top, and they're not painted yet. I wanted to do that after I added them. So once all the charms were glued down, I painted them in one thin layer of black, making sure no color was peeking through. Then I took my chrome powder and went over the black polish. Something I noticed is on the charms that had the pink under them, it made them way darker of a silver, if you can catch that, versus the ones that were see-through or clear. And then I put black over it because the black wasn't as opaque, and I kind of like that better. It gives it more of a silver, like crystally color instead of like a dirty silver color. Now here I'm adding the dots for the little silver crystals, dots, charms. I still don't know. But yeah, I didn't do that before, but I'm doing it now. And if you have these same ones as me, they're not like circular, they're like a semicircle, so you have to make sure they're flipped over to the right side so that they appear like a sphere. And this is how the set turned out, guys. I really like it a lot. I've always wanted to do a cross like this before, especially as like a Christian. Like, I don't know, like being able to like show my religion through other forms of work is just really cool to me, and it looks really pretty.